All right, welcome to the final class of the BBZ. It's been a long semester. There won't be any theme music today because what we're working on is what the original course outline. We were going to kind of summarize and talk about other people's businesses, but a lot of people did not sign in and check out the video, so nobody submitted a lot of questions. So I don't have a project to kind of look at and analyze. So what I'm doing is taking the last section of the course outline and focusing on that. And that last section started with kick off the marketing and media program by learning how to identify and understand your target markets and create and position a brand identity. To basically start this class about defining your position in the market with whatever your company is, I have to talk about my shoe company. It's very difficult to discuss building a brand without having a reference point. So our reference point for this discussion will be ARC. ARC's been around since 2009. The company is primarily sold through my Amazon shop. And this gives me a unique opportunity to measure my market and to create a brand identity. I could establish my brand by sending out shoes or reaching out to bloggers and things like that. But against bigger brands like Adidas and Nike, if I attempt to do this, I can basically kill my brand before I get started because this is building a business from zero. So I have to build a business as if I don't have a whole lot of capital. And I'll never be able to advertise more than Adidas, Nike, New Balance, Asics. I'll never be able to advertise more than them until I get the capital to do so. And even then, I may not be able to out advertise. Nike spends $1 billion on advertising. So they have all of these SKUs. So if I send things off to these bloggers, then what they're going to say to themselves is, well, I can talk about this dude one time, but tomorrow I'm going to get about 20 articles that I have to write about Nike because Nike is constantly releasing shoes. That means that all of these other brands are going to get a higher coverage rate than ARC would. So what I've done is I've begun establishing my position using Amazon. Now, this is pretty important stuff because the second part of our course outline says differentiate your company from the competition. And you have to do this. If you're starting whatever your company is you're starting in, you have to differentiate yourself from your competition. That's extremely hard to do because for me in ARC, any shoe that was going to be made has already been made. All new shoe companies are doing, like myself, is basically recreating the wheel and adding our own flavor. So how do I differentiate my company? Well, this is one of the things that I've done. If I come over here, what you see is inside of my Amazon Seller Central account. And what you're looking at is the shoe that I released this past year. And that's the ARC TR114 Runner. All right. Now, the great thing about being on Amazon as opposed to working through my site is I start to realize that I have about 7 things that I can take into consideration about differentiating myself from the competition. One, I realize I won't be able to undersell the competition all the time. I realize I won't be able to generate interest based on the technology in the shoes that I'm creating. Nike will always be able to generate more technology or newer features for their shoes than I will. Same with Adidas. Because I sell more than just my brand, this is important, and this is how I kind of differentiate. I can look at the complaints or discussions about more popular brands. Now, how do I do this? Well, if I come to my sales reports, I can click this button and I'll get a new window open and it shows you the price of my shoe on Amazon. Now that $29.99 looks bad, but in actuality, I have a $15 shipping charge, which bumps the cost of the shoe up to $45, which places me right in line with New Balance and all of these other brands, right? So now I'm right in line, but the most important aspect is I have reviews of my shoe, and that's important, okay? But one of the things that I can look at is I can go and look at the reviews on these different shoes. Now, this is the thing. I've looked at those reviews and I saw that New Balance or an Asics, they're producing shoes with these kind of crazy colors. Well, when I made my shoe, I said, well, I'll only make it in 2 different colors. And with those subtle kind of changes in the colorway, now I can create a little bit of a differentiation from the other companies. Someone might complain about the insert on a New Balance or an Asics or something like that. Well, since I've read those complaints, I added a foam midsole with a thick cushion insole, and it's also antimicrobial. All right. Since I sell directly to the buyer, I can adjust the price in a way to garner the attention to a new brand. So people can see my brand and they will see it in alignment with all of these other brands. That gives me a brand presence. What I do that's really cool is whenever I do sell something to one of my clients through Amazon, through someone that finds me on Amazon, is I reach out to them and I send them a personal letter whenever they buy a pair. All right. So that's like the first section of the video. And this is how I'm differentiating my brand from the competition. Now, the second section, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to put a link up here at the top. Well, I'm over here on the video. You can't see me, so it'll be over here to the top. Let me move my finger. Somewhere up here. You'll be able to click and go to the second part of this final lesson. So the next part will be how to position the brand in the marketplace by creating a cohesiveness of internal efforts and focus. So let's take a break, come right back, click on that link, and go to the next section.